Welcome, Dr. BRAOU first year students. Today we are going to talk about social change. We are going to review about what is social change. We are going to define what is change, and then what is social change and what are the causes for social change. And simply, social change is a means any noticeable change in the way people live, think, work, interact, and organize society. So how it covers every aspect of life. We say, think, how they live, how they exchange, how they travel. Everything comes under social change, and how their interactions, how their personas change. So when it comes to social change is nothing but a group of people behavior or a people general behavior which changes over the span of time. McKever and Page says social change refers to changes in the social relationships. So in older days, how the relationships used to exist, now how the society is looking at the relationships is called social change according to McKever and Page. And Kingsley Davis says social change means alterations in social organization, structure, and functions. And another one says social change is variation in accepted ways of life because though we restrict, we try to object the change, but we'll have to go through the flow, how society goes. So that's called social change. The characteristics of social change is they are universal. Every society experiences change. No society will be static. The change is inevitable because how we look the current world, how we are living now, and how our fathers, forefathers, their grandfathers they lived, change is inevitable. So, if universally accepted truth, it's continuous because we cannot live how we lived yesterday. There will be some or the other change, and it's dynamic. It's always evolving, and it's uneven. It also occurs different speeds in different societies. Suppose the way that Americans live now, the way Indians live is completely different. The change, a technological change, economical change is speed over there, and we experienced what they experienced 20 years back now, how we are living. And it's complex also. It often leads to many other changes. One change leads to another change, and it's planned or unplanned. Some changes are deliberate. A government policy is a planned change, and others are natural changes like technology, innovation, and societal changes are natural. It can be positive and negative also. Suppose if I just say a positive change is in mobile phones is the communication is everybody's at everybody's doorstep, but at the same time the adverse effect of the mobiles also we are looking at how the teenagers are being abused, how the social network platforms are being abusive, how people are children are vulnerable, how their addiction to mobiles are impacting their psychic health and their physical health is also we are looking. So social change can be positive as well as negative. This depends on how we use it, that change, and how we are using it in our lives is a thing. And then causes of social change are there are technological changes. Suppose internet. When we were children, there is no term called internet that we use in every house. But now every household has an internet connection. They have Wi-Fi connection. Every mobile phone has an internet connection. So without internet, we cannot even imagine our lives. It's like a breath, shortness of breath. So artificial intelligence, now every one of us are talking about AI. AI brings change, AI takes away jobs. So artificial intelligence, which is created, the intelligence of our own brains, which is to be natural, the artificial intelligence is created to replace the human's intelligence system. So more or less, though it is not 100% not replace the human intelligence system, but artificial intelligence is addressing the human capital gap. Smartphones, digital payments. Digital payments are something that we are talking about. We used to have a barter system when our forefathers are there. We used to exchange things for things. Then there is a currency. there is a currency exchange system. Then there come digital payments have come main in force during the COVID pandemic. Means in terms of not exchanging cash, there are digital payments are coming to Google Pay, Phone Pay, Paytm. These all came into existence where we started exchanging the currency digitally, and that is agreed upon the world. And then we are also talking about economic changes, rapid industrialization, globalization, liberalization. Globalization and liberalization came in early 2000s, and we started talking about whole world as a Vastaika Kutumbam, whole world as a global village, where it's globally we can see the things, and the everything is globally analyzed and everything is globally worked upon and other things. But now it has come into a phase that it's even past the era of globalization and liberalization. Now we are into era of startups, innovation, and everything we are operating from even sitting in our own home. Like if we want to order food, we wanted to travel. It's all minutes away. We don't need to plan so much earlier, and we don't need to plan anything. We are getting it at our doorsteps. Political changes, you are looking at how the politics used to be there when 80s, 90s, 2000s, how it is changed now, how people are voting. Voting paper ballot to we changed to digital voting, whereas we are using electronic EV machines. And we are also there are constitutional reforms that brought into that which taken into consideration of new economies, which taken into consideration of new technological changes. The policy reforms have been part, and constitutional reforms have been part. So the political changes are also a part of social change. Educational changes, higher the literacy rates. Now everyone is pursuing the education, higher education. They're going abroad for education. It's a very common phenomenon now. Previously, if somebody is going and pursuing education abroad in any other country, we used to look at it upon as, yeah, somebody is going, it's a very progressive, they're progressing, they're doing, somebody is not doing. But now it has become a common phenomenon. Every household has a student mostly who is studying in abroad or in another state or any university. And women education, changes in women education, women used to be studying means a kind of which are used to fulfill for teaching, research, and only particular domains. Now it's been changed to women even operating commercial pilots, women operating the fighter flights, where they are trained in running the army flights, air force flights, and they are fighting wars. And online learning in educational changes, major domain is, whereas we used to address classes, we used to get students in the classroom, we used to listen to the lectures, but now it happens to be you sit at your home and I sit in my home, and we started interacting to digital platforms for online learning. And there are cultural changes, which are westernized changes and modernization and media influence. Cultural changes now, if you see, everybody has an Instagram account, everyone is singing or doing something, whatever is happening at their homes, we are able to see through the updates. Means they wanted to tell. Before, it used to be a very private affair where every family, household, how they eat, how they drink, how they cook, it used to be very private affair. But now with the social media intervention, people started sharing what they cooked today, how they cooked today, and how they are eating, what they are eating, where did they travel, everything to the whole world. The influence of social media is also brought a major social change here. And the population growth, migration, urbanization, these all impact. Urbanization in early 1980s, 90s, 2000s has a major impact now. It has become a common phenomenon once you graduate or once you have completed your high school study, migrating to the nearby city and living there for better opportunities, better education opportunity, access, everything. So it has become no, it's not a new phenomena are migrating to urban. And population growth, though we stabilized the population growth, the youth population in our country is huge. That's also one of the change phenomena due to the health standardization and the life standard, living standards are improved. Agents of social change are education, industrialization, urbanization, technology, and mass media, government policies, globalization. So these are the change agents for the social change, where it has brought changes in education system, it has brought changes in our industry policies, changes in urbanization, urban living pattern is changed, and technology has brought tremendous changes in our economy. Mass media, social media has brought into a kind of every household. These are all the agents of changes that we talk about. So, if we are talking about types of social change, there are multiple types of social change. One is evolutionary social change. It's a gradual development over time, how our agriculture being developed, how we have developed our education system, and all those things are gradually developed time by time, year by year. We used to watch small TVs of black and white, and we used to listen to the radios and other things. Then gradually there is intervention of color TV, there is intervention of microphones, and even our mobile phone carries a radio. So the gradual development over time, it comes, it's called evolutionary changes. Examples, development of democratic institutions like Panchayat Raj institutions, our urban panchayats, municipalities. These are all democratic institutions which developed over the time and over the year. They are called evolutionary changes. The revolutionary changes are rapid and sudden change. Every one of us know how a French Revolution brought a rapid and sudden changes in the France culture, and how it has brought a democracy into the country from a kind of monarchy rule. And reformatory social change is something, it's gradual improvement without destroying the system. Example, Right to Education Act. Right to Education Act speaks about educating children in the schools. It doesn't speak about a movement, it didn't speak about a fight. It only talks about the access to educational institutions, public education institutions, and private educational institutions to the people. A progressive change is something, is a positive change, which is example is increase in literacy rates, increase in usage of technology, increase in access to the technology, and increase in financial access and financial inclusion. These are all called progressive changes in the society. So now we spoke about how, what is change, what is social change. We also spoke about what are the agents of social change, means which causes the social change. We also spoke about what are the types of social changes. Now we are going to talk about social change in India. The major changes after independence, what are happened in India. One is a major change that every one of us used to read in our history books, used to read in our sociology books, abolition of Jamindari, the Patel Patwari Vyavastha. So we have been abolished the Jamindari system, where the Jamindari system has, once it's abolished, along with that bonded labor is being abolished, along with that the land ownership rights have been abolished, land ownership rights have been changed. People have given access to land. The enhancement of the poor lands happened. People who are landless were got lands due to the abolition of Jamindari system. A green revolution. Green revolution has brought tremendous changes in the country, where it has brought up major agri inputs and outputs change, which has brought the food security to the country, where we started doing this. The progressive change in agriculture is called Green Revolution, which happened in 1970s and 80s. And White Revolution, which is nothing but a milk revolution, where lot of dairy farms or dairy is being encouraged, and people started towards concentrating about nutritious food. And with White Revolution, lot of people are asked to drink milk. The myths of having a glass of milk every day has been demystified through various social media platforms, digital platforms, and even through radios, mass media. That we were speaking about how a milk is good for health, and even how eggs are good for health and other things. These are the kind of changes in the food. And industrialization, you know very well how industries brings the jobs, and the industrialization happened post independence. Urbanization in 80s and 90s, rapid urbanization in India, which has brought many people to the cities and nearby urban places where people started migrating. People started migrating for better access to education, better access to health systems, better access to the economic systems. And it has also brought digital India. Means we are able to digitalize everything, including the classes now here you are hearing. It's an impact of digital India. And the payments that you make through Google Pay, GPay, Google Pay, Phone Pay, and others are also one of its impact. And we are able to mark our attendance digitally. We are able to do everything digitally now. The every application has become digital. Women's empowerment, a lot of change in women literacy, women empowerment, women employment opportunities, and with the revolution of SHG, self-help groups, women has been given access to the financial lending and financial inclusion has happened. So these are the changes that has brought women empowerment. Once women is economically independent, that enablement has made women empower. Expansion of higher education. Now there are many universities. We used to have only universities that are can be counted on fingers. But now we have universities which are hundreds and thousands of universities around the country, making the higher education accessible to everyone. And our growth of information technology, internet, information technology, whereas online platforms, digitization, the technology at the doorstep of the common people has made a tremendous social change in India. So, what are the effects of social change when we talk about the social change? The effects of social change are positive effects on economic development, better education opportunities, women's empowerment, significant scientific outlook at looking at the things, not looking at the things with a closed mindset and superstitions. We started looking at things why it is happening in a scientific way, and improved healthcare, which is improved in terms of standard of living, which also improved in terms of the uh, healthy living concepts and other things. And social mobility has increased. There are no boundaries that people to go outside. Either it is to be place mobility or the social mobility, means kind of social status has been changed due to the access to the multiple developments, irrespective of caste, irrespective of gender, irrespective of the economic status that they have. People started accessing things liberally, so that has improved the social mobility. The negative impacts are, the varied usage of plastic. Now, every one of us telling ban plastic, but are we able to do it? The environmental pollution that is being increased, not only with plastic, everything that we use, which is adversely being used, that is contaminating our environment. And there are multiple environmental effects. The deforestation has happened, and there is a lot of paper usage, waste, and land erosion, everything that has happened that is impacting environmentally with the abuse of the resources and others are happening. Family disintegration, it started with migrations to the urban areas, and now it's been impacted in rural India also, where people started only looking at the nuclear families. You could see only one or two joint families. So the family disintegration happened, and for this little bit things and little bit property issues due to the increase of land cost and the property values, families are disintegrating with various conflicts and other things. That's a kind of negative impact. And unemployment is increasing because the technological advancement that is replacing the human intelligence is making human difficult to get job. And increase in urban slums is also one of the negative impact of social change, where we see in urban slums people are living in unhealthy conditions, and also people are living in small places. Many people are living through which many sociological imbalances are happening, and there are social disturbances due to the urban slums that's happening around. Cultural conflicts, people started blaming each other's culture. Though we live together, it's like a global village. We live with other cultures, we live with other countries people, we live with everybody, but we are not able to accept the cultures of others. So the cultural conflicts, we tend to get into quarrels, we tend to get into conflicting the others cultures. So the cultural um, what to say, the bearing capacity of the other cultures, or the kind of resistance to other culture has been increased, and there are conflicts culturally and increased stress. Stress levels have increased. Even it's in the group, there will be stress, conflicts when we are living in the society. So these are the kind of negative impacts that has brought into sociology. So the examples are the social changes. Earlier, we used to write letters when we are away from home to the people. Now, what we are doing, we are sending a WhatsApp message, we are sending electronic mail, and this is a technological social change that is called. And the social structural changes, joint families were common when we were small, when even when we in 80s and 70s, joint families were common. But now nuclear families are increasing. I don't think we'll see after 10 years there's a concept of joint family exists in the country. And third one is economic and technological change. When we talk about, we also quoted this, cash transactions dominated earlier, where we used to give cash for every transaction and other things. We used to carry cash to the streets, we used to carry cash to the shops. But now you don't have to carry anything. You carry your mobile phone. You can make UPI and digital payments through online. So you don't have to carry anything in your hand while you are going out for buying something. So importance of social changes, either we agree it or not, it improved our quality of life. We have been access to the healthcare systems. We have got access to the education, access to everything. So with that, we have improved our quality of life, and it also promoted economic growth. It encouraged innovation because through many innovation centers, many policies and schemes, government is encouraging people to participate in economic activities and create livelihoods, create more jobs. So it encourages in encouraging the innovation in terms. It even went to the promotion of economic growth, and it also reduces social inequalities. It strengthens democracy. It enhances nation development. Means a kind of the awareness that is being created through access to the education, that is being created to access to technology, access to money, access to the economic growth. It has enhanced the national development, and our per capita and GDP growth has been inevitable. So, how you see social change? Social changes or change in society, it happens through technology, it happens through education, it happens through economic changes, political changes, cultural and population increase or decrease. So it leads to automatically development. A better living standards will happen. So till now we have spoke about social change. In social change, we spoke about change and development. We spoke about how it has been occurred in days. So social structure, modernization, urbanization we spoke about industrialization, we spoke about development, we spoke about technology, we spoke about globalization, we also spoke about social mobility. So with this, I am stopping here for the social change. So any questions, you can refer to the material, or you can get back to us while writing or whenever you are coming to the class.